Casmo, you will get a kick out of the next one. Air Force updates physical fitness program.
They have one?
It broke. It'll be right.
Air Force updates physical fitness programs. So, in support of the Department of the Air Force's Culture of Fitness initiative, the Air Force unveiled its new physical fitness assessment beginning January 1st, 26th. The new physical fitness test will be...
Look, they gave the Air Force more time to get ready for a PT test than they gave the Army Reserve time to get new jobs.
Dude, yeah. But, you know, Casmo, that was
easier.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So scroll down a little bit more. All right. So the updated PFA has a 100-point scoring system, 4 categories: cardio, waist to height, muscle strength, core endurance. So the big one for the Air Force is they're up in the run to a 2-mile run, and it will be you got to do it twice a year. So kind of the way it works now, you do it once a year. If you get a good enough score, you're good for a year. If you don't get a good enough score, you do it twice a year. And it's only 1.5 miles. So 2 miles for an Air Force type is, you know, borderline marathon. But I mean, Casmo, as an Army guy, I'm interested in your reaction to, I mean, you know, Air Force person, kind of the epitome of physical fitness and, you know, a strong physique when you look at us. But I mean, what do you think, dude?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, 2 miles, the Army cannot shake the 2 miles because, you know, for the majority of my career, it was 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, 2-mile run. And then they were like, we're going to make a combat-focused PT test, and we're going to have all these things, and you're going to throw this heavy thing over your head, and you're going to do all this stuff, and it's going to measure all these things, and you're going to do a 2-mile run. And everyone's like, okay, well, what does the 2-mile run measure? You know?
Right.
Like, why not do like they had sprints, I think. But anyway, the Army loves running because colonels love to run in front of their units and take them for big runs and smoke them and, you know, stuff like that. So, but yeah, if they're already running a 1.5 miles, I mean, 2 miles, the question is, what are the times associated? And I'm assuming there's age brackets and things like that, because that's what we had. I was never a great runner, so I'm not going to throw stones at people who run slow. You know, towards the end of my years in the Army, my goal was like, I want to pass as an 18-year-old. Like, that was my goal. Just pass as an 18-year-old. It wasn't great, but that was my goal. I can't do that now, but
dude, really? You could. So
what else? I don't like. I mean, I like to run, but I don't like to run.
No, I mean, like you could run the 18-year-old times when you were like at your 20-year mark.
Yeah, I wasn't on the top range of the 18-year-old. I was the lower range, like the barely passed. The barely passed as an 18-year-old. I was like, that's fine. I'm good at that. Yeah,
I'm always looking at the next age bracket for like goals. I'm like, oh, dude, when I get a little older, I get another 3 minutes.
The best PT score I ever had was when I was deployed. It was my 3rd deployment because we were barely doing anything. So I was like prison fit, you know what I mean? Because we were just like at the gym all the time. And like, I didn't even look at the scale, and I did so many push-ups. And then I looked, I was like, holy crap, I'm on the extended scale. I've never done that before. And then I did the sit-ups, and I maxed the sit-ups. I was like, oh yeah, I'm a beast. And then I went out to run. I had been running on the treadmill inside the gym. Well, now we're running outside. Dude, I went a 1/4 mile in that dry ass Iraqi heat, and my throat was so tight. I was like, I don't know I can get to make it through. And it would sucked. It was terrible. But what else do they have to do though? Like, they have to run. That's cool.
Push-ups,
what else?
Sit-ups, with the measuring, waist to height, right? There's 4 things: the run, push-ups, sit-ups, and waist to height to measure you. But the run holds the most weight, man. The run holds the most weight. That's Mover and I were like complaining offline. It's like, why not make, you know, what if you're just a really strong person and you can barely run? I don't know.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, that's always been the thing. Like, because they'll do like the tape measurements of your neck.
Right.
And you're like, oh, you're overweight. And it's like, this dude's a beast. Like, he can pick up a tank. He's going to have a fat neck. Like, it's okay. Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, because they would take your height the weight, right? It's like, dude, you're 5'10", you know, 215. Yeah. It's like, yeah, but, you know, and then they would do the measuring. But, I mean, I don't know, man. You know, I can't run right now, so I really don't care.
Right.
You know, I've got a doctor's note. But I'm with you, man. It's like another 1/2 mile. I mean...
I guess the bigger trick is they have to do it more, though, right? They got to do it twice a year, which.
But did you guys do once or twice?
It was twice a year, I think.
And you said
twice a year.
Do you guys, like? I know the Marines, I think, do like the ammo can lift as one of their things? Like, is it just
Well, like I
push-ups,
said,
sit-ups, and
it was push-ups, sit-ups, and then they went to this new thing, and it was like 8 different events. I only did it like twice. You had to do pull-ups, but they weren't even like pull-ups. They were like knee-ups or something. I don't know. And then it was like, I don't think it was age bracketed, but it was like job bracketed. So like you had like 3 different tiers, and as a pilot, you were like in the second tier. So I remember the first time I took it, I had to do like one of the little pull-up things, and I did 2, and I was like, all right, I'm done. He's like, come on, sir, you don't want to do more? I was like, dude, I doubled what I'm supposed to do. Like, let's move on to the next thing. Like, I'm retiring in 3 months. I don't care. Like, I told him, I was like, you should be lucky I even showed up this morning. But then I think they're changing that now. I heard something about they're even getting away from that PT test, doing something else. Because, and this is when we go back to talking about foresight of the military. The Army, what did you need to do in a PT test with push-ups, sit-ups, 2-mile run? You needed a way to measure 2 miles, and you needed a stopwatch and a clipboard. Like, that was basically all you needed. Well, then they wanted to do all this other shit. Well, now you needed a 20-foot container, no kidding, to fill all to carry all the stuff that you needed to do the PT test. And the question that people had was coming out, it's like, well, okay, well, how are we going to do this when we're deployed to an austere environment? Now we got to carry this container with us and all this stuff. And they're like, oh, it shouldn't be a problem. How many fat cats were made in the contracting world coming up with these kits for this stuff? Well, I read something the other day where they're getting rid of this PT test, and one of the things is, well, they're tired of having all the equipment that you have to have for it. Oh, gee, I wish somebody would mention it. So, but I don't know what the new PT test is.
Dude, I know. I mean, we could go down a rabbit hole for hours on this.
Yeah.
I think the objective here is, and I don't know, you can agree or disagree with me, Casmo, but just the overall physical fitness, I would say, of Americans in general has not been as good. And I see it in the military as well. And I'm not saying it's the right way to do it at all, but I think that's one of the objectives is like, we need to get a military that's in better physical shape because, dude, I mean, I've seen Navy and Air Force. I mean, I'm no physical specimen, but like Navy and Air Force, I've seen some pretty out of shape types, but I mean, probably not as many in the Army.
There's plenty, and there's some in the Marines too. Like there's no branch that's like impervious to having that. There's a funny meme out there with like this really fat Marine, and he's like, and I told that guy in the chair force, you know, like he was making fun of an Air Force kid, but he was all fat. No, I agree with you, but I think that's a huge cultural issue in America, right? That's not even the military, because those are people still had to pass something to get to where they're at. Yeah, I don't know. We got to go back to have some sort of more physical fitness in school.
Let me ask you this: when it comes to the Army PT test, for you, was it just a question of this is just a pain in the butt? I mean, was there really any ever question in your mind that you couldn't pass it? I mean, honestly, like if my knee was good right now, I'm confident I could run the 2-mile time for my agent pass.
Well, I think when I was super young, and this is the way I look at it too. Like I was running pretty avidly a couple of years ago. Like right at the end of my time in the military, I started to enjoy running more. And my son was interested, and he was, you know, a senior, I think, in high school at the time. And we were running. And he wanted to go running with me. So we went running, and he barely made it anywhere before he's huffing and puffing. And he's he's as skinny as a rail. Right. So he's not a fat kid, but he just doesn't work out. And it made me think back to when I was his age and I was having to take PT tests. I was scared. And I think that part of it is when you're young, like you feel that pain of running, particularly I think running, and you're just out of breath and you're just like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I still feel that way. I just know that I'm not going to die. And I'm just like, whatever, I'm old. This sucks. I'll live, you know, and I just kind of fight through it. And so I think part of it,
second win.
You get the second, the third, sometimes fourth win. And so I think for kids those days, like they can do more than they think they can, because they have not learned yet that your mind is more powerful than your body, and you can push through that pain if you really want something. So, but no, I don't think it's necessarily hard, but it is one of those things where you have to practice for it. You have to train for it. So I think if kids are going to basic training and they haven't been running, or they're in a different environment, right? Like you're going to go to Fort Benning or whatever we're calling it these days, and you live in, I don't know, whatever, Minnesota or something, and the temperature is different. Like you may not be used to that humidity or something like that, or you're PCSing to Colorado and you're up 5,000 feet. You're not going to get the air. It's just like I talked about with Iraq. And so people just have to prepare themselves for that. But yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I know Mover's not happy about it. He can't voice his opinion, but he thinks running is dumb and he doesn't like it. So, there it is. For their PT test, CW Lemoyne says, were there PT tests during World War II? Asking for a friend.
Right.
Probably for sure, dude. It's like before they manned up for the Enola Gay, it's like, oh, hey, dude, you guys, we got to knock this push-ups right now, right by them. Just like in Maverick.
Knock them out.
Right there on the flight line, man.
That's right.
Knock them out.
Struff.
That's right. Team leader.